What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at a couple random DC Multiverse figures. Actually 3 different kinds: a platinum version, a collector edition, and a gold label. So those being Commander Steel, Huntress, and the Question, which I'm very excited for. So the Question, I actually had to order online. I paid a scalper. I know, but I wanted to put him in a video, and he looks fantastic. There's the barcode if you're luckier than I am. I had to pay like $45 for him. I know. It's terrible, but I had some Mercari money, so oops. Yeah. This is what happens when you bite your nails all the time. I want to help. I really do. Can I do it? Oh no. Wait. Can we do it? Oh no. Can we get it? Can we get it off? This is a journey, guys. Stay with me. Good enough. There's the barcode for Huntress. I really like the artwork on the back, though. It does show the inaccuracies of the figure. And then finally, there's Commander Steel's barcode. He is a Target exclusive, but I've been seeing him pretty readily available. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open all these figures up. So, getting these guys out of the packaging here, I gotta say, they're all pretty damn solid. I mean, only one of them, no, 2 of them are characters that I really wanted. One was just, wasn't asking for it, but I'm happy they made it kind of thing. So we'll start with him and then go to the other 2, and you could probably take a guess on that. But we're going to look at Commander Steel here. Now, I only know him from the Justice League animated show. I've never read a book with him in it, and I also know him as one of the original characters, or one of the original creators of this character was Alex Ross. And Alex Ross is one of my favorite comic book. He is my favorite comic book artist, just straight up. He's not one of. He is my favorite. I love his artwork. I love his style. He really redefined what comic book art is, and I love that. His artwork was on the back of the box, if you remember, at the beginning of the video. So happy that they nodded to him using his artwork, because he did this, and I think that's so cool. So taking a look at the head sculpt here, it's a pretty drab head sculpt in a way, but it works. No real expression. I like the wide eyes. Looks good. The silver paint on this is easily my favorite part. That is such a bright metallic silver, and that looks great in contrast with the blues and the reds. I love it. They use this riveted sculpt. I forget what this is, like from that Fusion Batman Superman thing, I think. Some people are complaining about it. I actually kind of like it. I like having different body bucks on the shelf, and it works. So I like it. You get the nice star on the back. Everything's painted relatively pretty clean, too. Gets all in all the crevices and things like that. You don't get the strip on top of the joint, but I kind of figured that wouldn't happen. So I like it. I think he looks pretty damn good. And again, it's not a character I was hankering for, but I'm familiar with them, and I like building out the league and getting new leaguers. So in terms, his detents and his ankles are a little tight, or like a little heavy, but again, I think it's an older body. So here's the artwork. You can see that Alex Ross artwork, beautiful, looks good. There's a little read up, and you get, the stand. And in terms of accessories, no power effects, unfortunately, but you do get a couple interchangeable hands. You get the 2 open hands, and then another open hand and a kind of pointer finger hand. Nothing super useful. Not too happy about that. The articulation is as follows. It goes up, down, pivot side to side, and rotate. Shoulder goes up and down. Kind of bugs around like that, and it will rotate 360. You do get a bicep swivel with a double jointed elbow, and wrists that swivel and hinge on the ball hinge. I like that. The torso goes forward and back and pivot side to side. It'll rotate, not that much at the top, but you'll get full rotation at the bottom. So overall, I'd say this is actually pretty decent for McFarlane. Not a bad set of torso articulation. The hips go all the way. They kick forward, back. No thigh swivel at all. You're not going to get anything there. Double jointed knees, and then the ankles will rotate. They'll go up and down and pivot. And since they have that rotation there, you get great movement on there. And then a toe hinge. So yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not a crazy amount of articulation, but it's definitely enough for Commander Steel, and for that, I'm happy with it. Now, this is my favorite character out of the bunch, but it's probably the weakest figure in a lot of ways. I like the Question a lot. He's definitely a character I was asking for, but the fact that I had to pay extra for him because they decided to make him a chase just pisses me off to no end. And They give him no accessories, and that pisses me off too. He should have at least came with a notepad, at the very least. A gun would have been nice. He's got a trigger finger hand, so I'll give him a gun, or I have a notepad of some sort, but whatever. Taking a look at the face sculpt, or the lack of a face sculpt, it looks pretty good. I didn't realize until I opened him that the black streak on his head is actually like painted. I always thought that was just the shadow. It's a good effect. It works. I love the blues on this guy. Love the yellow shirt with the black tie. The slight variations in the blue works really nice. The black gloves are good, and the feet look good. This is a reuse of the Joker body from the Dark Knight Returns. I think it's a genius reuse. It looks fantastic. So again, there's no accessories other than the card stand or the card. Nice read up there, Vic Sage. And you do get the figure stand, but not a lot of, that's just disappointing. So in terms of articulation, the head is going to look up and down and pivot side to side. You get great movement at the head and rotate. Shoulder goes up, down, rotate 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then wrist swivel and hinge. You do get kind of like that, just like lower joint, but I think it works really good here. Good rotation, nice pivot, all that good stuff. The hips go outwards this far, they'll go down. He'll kick forward that far, back, tiny bit of upper thigh swivel, but not really. Good double jointed knees that actually look pretty good too. They don't look terrible. And then the ankle goes down, up. We'll rotate in there, kind of heavy detents. We'll pivot a little bit, and then a toe hinge. So yeah, overall, he does what he needs to do, aside from having no accessories, which just pisses me off to no end. And then finally, what is probably objectively the best figure is Huntress. I mean, you have to pay the most for Huntress, but it's kind of worth it in a lot of ways. My biggest complaint with this figure is that it's not super accurate to the artwork. And I don't really like the change in style, how we have like a very comic book chest and torso and like pelvis, but then the legs get way more detailed because they're reuse of that Catwoman from the Arkham games, which not a big fan of that. I think it looks fine because it's black and like the design works because she's got a black suit on, but I think if it was like any other color, that would be really jarring. Also, the paint on her isn't super clean. It definitely needs at least one more layer in certain spots. It's like that on both sides. The chest looks good. I like that. The paint is good there. And definitely could use some paint on the belt and stuff. I mean, it just looks really cheap with all that paint lack, or their lack of a bunch of paint. Not a big fan of that. I will say the head sculpts are really good on this. Though her hair is gray on the head, but then the face plates, because they did like a faceplate thing this time, which I think is smart. I think that's really smart. It's just like a different color. Maybe it doesn't come up like that on camera as much. No, it really doesn't on camera that much. But in person, it's pretty noticeable. And of course, you get the big soft goods cape. And it's not that taffeta stuff. It's almost like basketball shorts. It's kind of cool. And it's not wired all the way around, but like on the side. So it's definitely enough. It's a very good cape, actually. I like it quite a bit. Easily the best part of the figure. In terms of accessories, she does come with a decent amount. I don't know if it's $30 worth, but it's more than you would normally get. So you do get a pair of trigger finger hands, which are used for something this time, so I'm good with that, and a pair of open hands. I like that too. In terms of face plates, you do get two, which they feel like a Gundam. Like they feel like really hollow plastic. You get the one with the more seduced mask, and then this is the same as that one up there. Slightly different, but this is just smiling. I think we should have got like an angry head or something. I don't feel like there's a big enough difference between these two to justify it. You also do get the card stand, which shows the inaccuracies. I really would have liked the purple knee pads on this. I think that's my biggest complaint. Would have been easy to make new knees there. But there's the read up. Then you get the stand. No card stand, which I'm very happy about. And of course you get her crossbow. You can't have a Huntress without a crossbow. But no paint. It's whatever. So it's good accessories, but I don't know if it's $30 worth. In terms of articulation, the head's really not going to do too much. It'll rotate and pivot a little bit. But, I mean, her hair, it's soft, but it's just thick. You do get a nice wired cape. I'll put that up and out of the way. Shoulders only go up to about there. They'll only go that forward, that back. The butterfly joint isn't really going to do much. And then she does have a bicep swivel on there as well, with good double jointed elbows and all the wrist swivel and hinge on the ball hinge. The diaphragm joint is really good on this, actually. Can't arc forward too much, but arcs back, pivot side to side, rotates at the top and the bottom. So pretty good movement. I'm okay with that. Hips go outward that far. They'll go down. They'll kick forward and back. No thigh swivel, which is disappointing, especially for an acrobatic character like this. Double jointed knees, and then the ankles go up, down. They'll rotate, which is kind of essential for hip or for ankles like this. You can get like that, like nice sideways. It's kind of ugly, but you can hide that in certain photos, I assume. And then a tiny useless toe hinge. Can I even get that to? Yeah, there you go. So useless, but yeah. I mean, I think she looks pretty good from a distance. Maybe if you look too much into it, there's things that bother me, like paint differences, lack of paint, and the kind of weird differentiation in the sculpt. But overall, I'd say she looks really solid, and I'm happy to have this Bat character on the shelf. Here they are next to the NECA Toys King Kong, along with the Jazzarch Fortnite Series 6-inch Peely. Here they are next to the McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman, along with the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men Series Darwin. And here they are next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends What If Series Zombie Captain America. So yeah, it's just kind of another random assortment of DC figures, but that's usually how I do these videos, and I gotta say I'm pretty happy with all of them. I think my biggest disappointment all around is the fact that the question comes with no accessories. That sucks. Commander Steel could have came with the effect part instead of these extra hands, but I mean, whatever, that's fine. And Huntress is pretty damn good. I just think a little bit more time should have went into her. Maybe a little bit more paint and maybe a little bit more consistency in the sculpt. But overall, I think they're all pretty solid. So at a price point of $30, I'm going to go ahead and give Huntress an 8. At $20 a piece for the other two, retail, I'm going to call retail. I won't count what I called for the question. I'll give Commander Steel a 7, and I'm going to give the question a 6. And I'm being objective. I'm personally very happy with them. I really like the silver on Commander Steel, but there's nothing crazy about them. They're reuse with new heads. So, yeah. But anyway, with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. If you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. I post a lot on all those apps, and I have a great time, so I'm sure you will too. But as always, let me know. You copping? See you guys in the next one. Peace.
What goes on, guys? I wanted to hop on here again and thank you all for watching, and to let you know that if the following apps interest you, feel free to follow me on them, as I put the links in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everything you all do for me, so DM me with any questions or thoughts. I'd love to sit and talk with you all. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.